As a small business owner, what are the free Google tools that you should be setting up for your website and for your business sooner rather than later so that you can start building up SEO success? If that's what you're wondering, then you have made it to the right video. That's exactly what we're diving into today. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I'm Mariah from MariahMagazine.com, and on this channel, I help simplify things like SEO, websites, tech, and I dive into tools and recommendations to help you grow your online business in a way that works for you. In today's video, I'm going to dive into the 3 main free Google tools that I usually recommend almost all of my clients set up from the get-go so that we can start building some momentum in terms of search engine optimization and getting organic traffic from Google search results over to their website. So let's kick it into the screen share. Okay, so the first free Google tool to set up is probably the tool that most people hear about. It's called Google Analytics. Okay, so Google Analytics is a tool that helps you understand your website traffic, like where people are coming from, how long they're spending on your website, and all of that stuff. So it's really helpful when you set up Google Analytics. Now you're able to get a better understanding of the people that are coming to your website, which can then help you make better marketing decisions. It's like if you were spending a whole ton of time using Pinterest to drive traffic, but then you look in Google Analytics and you're just like, well, I'm not getting any conversions, or I'm not getting a lot of traffic from people from Pinterest. So maybe I should spend more of my time on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, or maybe I should spend more time on Google SEO. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I will say, quick caveat. You absolutely do not need to set up Google Analytics. I have some clients that prefer other analytics tools, other analytics platforms. Some of those platforms, I will say, in order to get really in-depth data, you have to pay a monthly fee. And I know that that is something that holds some small business owners back. Like they don't want another bill or another invoice that they have to pay because sometimes we have a lot of overhead. So Google Analytics, well, all 3 of these tools that I'm going to go over, they're all totally free. Okay. So this is what the current Google Analytics like sign up page looks like. If you're looking at this video later, it might look a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I am going to put the sign up for Google Analytics in the video description box below. But basically you can click get started today. You can sign into analytics if you already have an option here. And I do have a video that walks you through how to sign up and add Google Analytics to your website. So I will also link that in the video description box below. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview of like, what the heck does this Google Analytics thing look like? So basically, you can see here, we have a dashboard. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of everything, but you can see here automatically, this is pretty cool data to be able to get access to for free. Like, where is my website traffic coming from? How many sessions in the past 60 days? How many users? How many events? All of that. And then you can scroll down. You can see some additional things there if you'd like. We can go over to reports, and this is probably where you're going to hang out the most. And then you can come and check out your traffic acquisition. So we can see where exactly is our traffic coming from, how many people, and how long are they actually spending on this page. Okay, so it's really helpful to be able to see this data. So this is the average engagement time per session. So like I said, how long are people kind of spending on this website? And then the engagement rate, we have engaged sessions per users, we have event count, like we have all of this stuff. Okay, so the other cool thing, like you can see this by channel, which is really helpful. So like at first glance, you can see that like organic video, in terms of organic marketing, organic video, AKA YouTube, drives the most amount of traffic to my website in the past 28 days. So just keep note that like you have a start and end date of when you're looking at data. So just know that if you're looking at things, if you want to see a wider window of things, if you want to go ahead and compare data, you can totally do that too. So lots of things to play with here. But basically when we click this, I just want to show you this because I feel like this is wildly helpful and a lot of people don't know about it. So if you click this arrow, basically, you can go to session source and medium, and then you can use the search bar to type in a specific platform. So I typed in Pinterest. I'm going to go ahead and click enter on my keyboard, and now that's going to filter all of the data so I can see my traffic and the data specifically just from Pinterest. Okay, so all of this, like I said, wildly helpful. And like I mentioned before, you don't have to use Google Analytics if you don't want to. Some people don't like it. You can use another analytics platform, but I do recommend setting up some analytics platform, especially if you're going to like be putting money into marketing, or you're really trying to like DIY your marketing, or if you're hiring an agency for some support. Definitely set up this tracking before all of that so you can kind of gauge and figure out what's working, what's not from all of your different marketing efforts. And then one more thing about Google Analytics. So at this time, I don't have a video that walks through the entire Google Analytics dashboard or anything like that. Maybe that's my cue to go ahead and create one, but I'm sure that there's other ones on YouTube that'll walk you through if you're looking at this and you're like, okay, Mariah, sounds great, but this looks awful. Okay, I feel you. It does, especially as a small business owner. This looks like wildly overwhelming, but I'm sure that there is some like basic overview. If not, maybe by the time that you're watching this, maybe I have one linked in the video description box below. Okay, so I will say, set this up sooner than later, because like, even if you don't want to look at the data right now, start collecting the data. So in 6 months, in 12 months, you have data to come back and look at. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the second free Google tool. So that one is Google Search Console. This one's my baby. I love Google Search Console. This is the one that I play around with, that I go into all of the time. So if Google Analytics was essentially like your website traffic and like where people are finding you and how long they're spending on your website and like all of that information about kind of like your users on your website, Google Search Console is how Google sees your website. So if you're going to be spending any time, any money, any effort, any resources into SEO, you absolutely 100% need to have Google Search Console set up. It is free. Like I said, all of these are free. So I will leave the link to sign up here. I will leave that in the video description box below, along with a helpful video that walks you through the process of signing up and setting up Google Search Console for your website. But I did want to give you a quick overview of like what this dashboard looks like. So we're just on one of my old blogs that I haven't created content for in literally 30 years. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying. So this is the dashboard here. Notice it's a little less overwhelming than Google Analytics, but it's still data that we're looking at. So I would say the coolest thing about this is if you come into the performance tab, you can see, so we have total clicks, total impressions, average click-through rate, average position. This is just from Google. Okay, so this is not information from social media or other search engines or anything like that. You can see the date range here. You can go ahead and play around with that. And then when you go ahead and click on these boxes, you'll see that additional lines show up here. And then when you scroll down, you're able to see queries. What these are the SEO keywords that Google is already associating with your website. These are the keywords that you are already showing up on Google for. Okay, so a lot of people think that you have to pay to figure out like what SEO keywords are already driving traffic to your website. You don't. You just have to have Google Search Console set up. So like I said, even if you don't want to look at this data right now, set this up so that in 6 months, 12 months, or when you hire somebody like me, we have some data to go off of. Then you'll be able to see which pages are actually showing up on Google, which ones are not showing up on Google. This might be overwhelming. Just remember, when you're looking at this information here, don't freak out right away. Some of them depend on context. So excluded by no index tag, that basically means like, hey, don't put this in Google search results. Some people freak out when they see this, but some pages on your website aren't meant to show up in Google search results, like the privacy policy page, the terms and conditions page. I don't really care if those show up on Google search, because my ideal person is not typing in like Mariah Magazine privacy policy in order to work with me. Okay, so if you're looking and diving into this stuff, just keep in mind that like you need context to know if you actually have to spend time diving into this stuff. But then the other thing is sitemaps. So a sitemap is essentially like the roadmap of your website and your content and all of that. I would recommend once you set up Google Search Console, submit your sitemap to Google so that Google can better understand the structure and the flow of your content. I will link a video in the video description box below that goes through how to find and submit your sitemap to Google Search Console. So without going too deep into this other stuff, I do have another video. So funny. After doing this for a couple of years, you realize like how many freaking videos you have. So I do have another video that walks through like a deeper overview of the Google Search Console dashboard. So I will leave a link to that. If you're just like, Mariah, you are talking too fast, girl. You are going way too quick over this stuff. I'm trying to learn. If that's you, click on the Google Search Console dashboard overview video. It is going to be your best friend, okay? I'm interrupting this video really quick because I created something super awesome and I want to share it with you. So if you need help planning out your SEO keywords for your blog posts, for your product pages, for your homepage, for any page on your website, then definitely check out my SEO keyword planner. It's a 5-page editable workbook created in Google Sheets that will help you brainstorm, organize data, and strategize your keywords accordingly. I include tips, best practices, and examples to help you get started. Click the link in the video description below to check it out. So far, we've done Google Analytics, basically how website visitors use your website, how they find your website, all of that stuff. Google Search Console is how specifically Google views your website, what keywords you're showing up for, if you have any errors on your site, submitting your sitemap, and things like that. And then we have a third free Google tool. So the third one is your Google Business Profile. This used to be called Google My Business. It's now called Google Business Profile. This option is only for local businesses. Okay, so there can be some fuzzy things, like if you have a drop shipping business, you can't sign up for a Google Business Profile. If you're an e-commerce only type shop, you can't sign up for a Google Business Profile. So there are some exceptions. Not everybody watching this video is going to be eligible for a Google Business Profile. But if you are a local business or if you provide services to your local community, like I have a client that I'm going to show in an example in a second. She's an interior designer locally, and so she can have a Google Business Profile even though she doesn't really have like a huge office space or like workspace or building that people can come into. She can still have a Google Business Profile because she meets clients out and like provides on-site services. Okay, so it might be the same thing for a construction company. But if you're a typical like physical location business, whether you're like a bookstore, a coffee shop, or a dry cleaners, something like that, you can have a Google Business Profile. So I will leave the link to sign up for the Google Business Profile in the video description box. If you're not sure if you're eligible for a Google Business Profile based on everything that I just said, maybe it feels a little fuzzy, you probably can go to Google and just type in like what businesses are not eligible for a Google Business Profile, and then the updated information will show up. Okay, so then I'm going to show you an example of like what this looks like. So this is my client, like I said, an interior designer. This is an example of what the Google Business Profile looks like. It's like this cute little information panel that will pop up. So maybe you see this when you're Googling restaurants or stuff like that. So that's what this is. It's a Google Business Profile. It's how you're able to get Google reviews. You can link your website. You can have people get directions and like come to you quickly and figure out how to get there. They can save your Google Business Profile. They can call your business. So there is different options here. And so you'll see the reviews down here. You have your social media options. You have a what the heck is this business about and all of that stuff. But the cool thing that we have here, besides the fact that you have this knowledge panel, this grabs my attention. If I'm typing in like interior designer or like her business name and then this shows up, I'm like, oh, this girl knows what she's doing. She's a trustworthy business and stuff like that. So just consider what having this again, free. This is another free option. Consider what having this free profile can do in terms of credibility for your website, especially if you got pretty solid reviews. Okay, so you can go ahead and edit all of these things. I'm not going to dive into them, but what I did want to show you is the performance. So you can choose the time period and you can see how many people have interacted with your business profile within that time frame. And then you can scroll down and see additional information. So this is what people are typing in. This is what people are typing in. You can see more. You can see what they're searching for. So most of her people are on a phone versus a desktop. And then we can also go into calls. So she's got 4 people clicked the call button. She can see how many messages, how many bookings, if you connect bookings directly to your business profile. Okay, so that's another feature I'm not going to dive into. How many people tried to get directions to her place and how many people clicked on her website from her Google business profile. Okay, so this is just another place to get really, really, really helpful data for your business showing up on Google. Okay, so that's why I love this one. But like I said, not every single person is going to be eligible to sign up for this. And then the last thing, unfortunately, I don't have a video on my channel that walks through like how to set this up because I haven't been able to find a way to kind of set up like a test account or like a demo account. Like when you set up a Google business profile, like you have to put an address and like put a business and all of that. And I can't just make businesses and like locations and pull them out of thin air in order to just create a video. So I haven't been able to create a video on that yet, but in the video description box of this video that you're watching, I will put the link from Google that walks you through how to sign up for a Google business profile. To be honest, once you're here, you can click sign into your Google account, which is another thing. In order to have any of these tools, you have to have a Google email address. It can be a paid one or it can be a free Gmail. Okay. Well, at the time of this recording, that might change. I'm not sure. But basically, you can click either manage now or start now or whatever the button says for you. And honestly, like what they walk you through in the step-by-step, it's usually pretty easy to follow. It walks you through and kind of guides you through what information you need to add there. But overall, these are the 3 free Google tools. We got Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and Google Business Profile. So hopefully all of that was helpful and hopefully you learned something and like are a little bit more excited to set these tools up and start collecting data, especially if you're going to spend time on SEO or other marketing channels. So hopefully this video was helpful. So that's it for today's video. If you guys found this video helpful, give me a really quick thumbs up. Truly, the simple thumbs up does go a long way in letting the YouTube algorithm know that my video was helpful and therefore pushing it out to more people that also might find it helpful. And if you have any questions about any of these Google tools or anything like that, go ahead and leave a comment below this video. I use your comments, your suggestions, and your questions to inspire new videos on this channel. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, and I will see you in the next video. If you made it to the end of this video and you're just getting started with DIY SEO, but you want some help navigating the process, then definitely consider downloading my free roadmap to successful SEO. The free SEO guide dives into what SEO is, why it's important, and how search engines work, along with my 6-step process to improving your SEO and your rankings. And then finally, I dive into the 3 tasks that you can start doing today to get the results that you want from Google. If you want to go ahead and snag this for yourself, then you can click the link in the video description box below, or you can head over to my website at mariahmagazine.com/roadmap to download your own copy.